Hello and welcome back to My Mom's Basement, but not just My Mom's Basement, from the top rope, along with Jared Carrabis. It's the first episode that we've done since WrestleMania 41, so there's a lot to cover. We were just talking about it before we started recording, how much has happened. We've got a new streaming service. We're on ESPN now. Unreal came out in the time since. We've had some returns. John Cena's pretty much entire farewell tour has happened. There's one date left in it. But how we doing, Jared?
I'm pissed off, Bob.
Pissed off.
Yep. We're recording this on Tuesday, the morning after the epic Monday Night Raw that Triple H promised. That's probably the first time I've sat through a whole live Monday Night Raw in 9 months, since probably before WrestleMania. Yeah, because I was promised an epic Raw, and I was like, okay, yeah, like they're probably gonna do like the reveal for the Masked Man. I was in the second row in June of 1999 when Vince McMahon revealed himself as the higher power. It was me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin. You bought it. You all bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. I was there for that. And I thought we were going to get something like that. Like, how are you going to promise a fucking epic Monday Night Raw? And like the coolest thing was like a Styles Clash in the middle of the show.
That was cool, but I agree with you. He teased an epic Raw. It was just a Raw. It was a Raw with a couple cool spots, but it was just Raw. And he's got to know what he's doing when he says that. He has to know how the aggregators work and how the headlines work. He has to know people are going to be like, oh, that's just not what he promised. When we had the opening segment and they set up the tag team match main event, I was watching and I immediately was like, unless something crazy is going to happen on the 9 o'clock hour, right on the 10 o'clock hour, you just knew it wasn't going to be like mind blowing. Like, what could the most mind blowing thing happen if the main event is just going to be like a tag team match, a good tag team match? Like, crowd was very excited for it to be made, but it wasn't epic by any stretch of the imagination. The MSG Raw that I went to with Nate and KFC. That was kind of an epic Raw, to be honest. We got the return of Roman and Brock, and you got Cena's last MSG appearance where they did the big 6-man. You got the return of Dolph Ziggler. There were so many like pretty big moments on that. That felt like an epic Raw, if you want to sell it as that. This one was nowhere near that level.
No, like we didn't even have Roman. There was nothing. I don't know. I don't know. I'm disappointed.
Will it be another 9 months? Will you be pregnant with Raw lust once again?
I mean, I feel like I can be talked into watching a Raw. Clearly, if it's hyped up,
it takes like, one word, epic. Yeah,
that's it. That's it. Like give me a hook from a PLE and the promise of something epic on a Raw or a SmackDown, and I'm in. But yeah, I felt like I was just sitting through that Raw, being like, yeah, it's nice to like sit down and watch Raw again, but like there's nothing where I was like, oh my God, wow. Like, no, it didn't happen.
Other than the Styles Clash, which was sick.
Very cool. Yes. Yeah. That was very cool.
And I didn't even know that they were tag team They're trying to say, oh yeah, it's a cool thing to put AJ in that right now because he's kind of done everything and everyone knows he's also nearing his retirement tour. So it's like a fun tag team. It works. It allows them to do creative, crazy moves like that. But people are poo-pooing it, and they're saying the Young Bucks have been doing this for years, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. But, like, that's why it's, like, cool to see on WWE. It's, like, the kind of thing that the Young Bucks usually do. So when they do it on Monday Night Raw, and it's AJ Styles, 50 years old, catching someone like that, it's still fucking cool. Why are we poo-pooing it? Because you've seen it before. Guess what? The Young Bucks probably saw it on the indies from someone else, and they probably took it from someone else. It's like, I'm not accusing them of being move thieves, but like that's how wrestling works. That's how music works. That's how all art works. You take something, you do it again, you cover it. Sometimes you do a cover that's better than the original.
Also, like you are in like not baseball, wrestling snob Twitter. Like I'm not saying you are one, but like you're seeing takes from people that
definitely
your everyday wrestling fan is not seeing. So I didn't see anyone complaining about it. Like I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I'm probably that's probably too far into the forest to see the trees. Is that the phrase? Yeah. Let's start with Survivor Series because it just happened. I said to you, and my brother brought this up right away. I thought right off the bat, so strange to sell out Petco Park and have a show with 4 matches. even though it is like a War Games thing, and they did the entrances like almost like Elimination Chamber Royal Rumble this year without the shark cages. I thought that was like a cool twist on it. And I know those matches last forever, but it's like, I don't know. The women's War Game match I thought was fine. I didn't love the Io Sky spot. It felt like they were just like, we're going through the motions with her jumping off the cage with the trash can at this point.
She's Kofi now.
Totally Kofi. I thought the exact same thing. And the way everyone lined up for it, I was just like, oh no. They literally waited for her to get to the top. They all
out of the way.
And then when she did it, Becky always has these great facial reactions. She's one of the best at it. But they paused on it for so long where Becky was just standing there going, after she was, and it's like, this is the third year in a row she's done it. Why are we still shocked? It's like if someone had the opportunity to eliminate Kofi after one of those spots, but they stood there like, I can't believe he did that. Well, why can't you believe he did that? She does it every year. You know what I mean? So that was like the big moment of the match. And I felt like that fell short. So maybe the match fell short. Then the men's War Game match, kind of the same thing. It was fine. It was like, it had its fun stretches. I didn't love running back the yeet during the match. I was like, all right, this is a little strange. And I hated the finish, obviously, not doing the reveal. So you have 2 War Games matches that sort of disappoint. And then there's only 2 matches left for you to like build the rest of the card back up. Nikki Bella and Stephanie, it was whatever. It was nothing really. I really liked Dom and Cena. I thought that was great. Yeah. The live moment I thought worked so well. The crazy eyes she put on was awesome. But again, if that's the highlight of the show and it was a match that featured crazy amount of interference and smoke and mirrors, it's like, I don't really know. This wasn't a great show in my mind. It wasn't a horrible show. I didn't hate anything on it, but it wasn't great.
I think it was rated like the worst Survivor Series of all time. Like I was watching that on like WrestleMania, and they were going through like the scores of Survivor Series, and they're like, yeah, this was graded by the fans like the worst of all time. Yeah, I mean, we were pretty much in agreement on almost everything. I was like, why for a stadium show you're gonna have a 4-match card? I think that's crazy. To have like a wonky finish for the main event, and then also in addition to that, well, I mean, to not reveal the masked man in that moment to give it a wow factor, and then like there's no follow up on Raw. Like what are we doing here? Like I just feel like it's like that 4-year run of the Bloodline storyline. It wasn't just the Bloodline that was epic cinema. And like, of course, that was the pinnacle of it, but like everything was great during that time period. Now everything, I'm like, this can't be the same writing team. This can't be the same people making the decisions that
there's like a long-standing thing in wrestling where people say bookers have like 2.5 or 3 years before they hit burnout, and then their storylines start to pivot. I think Vince had like a great 2 or 3 year stretch. Vince Russo obviously had a great one in WCW and then a great one in WWF, but then went south. I think Heyman, when he was writing SmackDown, had about the same amount of time, and people have criticized AEW for it, that they had a really hot 2.5, 3 years to start and then started on a downhill slope. I think they're back on the uphill slope, if I'm being honest. But Triple H is right around that 2.5, 3 year mark. And I'm wondering if that's like the curse of the booker is winding up true. I don't know, but it does feel like he's leaning into things that feel a lot like Vince lately. People pointed it out with, I don't know if you saw the micro Cena,
I
Dominic Mysterio segment. That felt like a
very
Vince segment. Like
the
way they've been bringing Brock back in the fashion that they have been, it feels kind of Vince like. The fucking Brock squash match over Cena. The fact that happened and we wasted our time on that was Cena. That was straight up Vince. That was, the
whole run has sucked. The whole run has sucked.
The Cena run?
Yes, it's been awful.
It's too little too late, but I do think the last like 2 or 3 months have been pretty good.
Like what was
it's obviously too little too late. Like I thought
him winning the IC title in Boston was great.
I was gonna say the mini feud with Dom, the 3 matches, the Boston MSG like 6-man tag where you bring in Sheamus and Ray. I saw people calling them the Unk All-Stars. Like I thought that was like a good, like kind of like a tribute to like his dark match career, where it was like he's just doing, it was basically the match we saw them do when it was Dom, Ray, and Cena dark match at SmackDown when we were there live against Roman and the Usos. I think that has been good. I think basically everything since the face turn, which I hated. Like, obviously the heel run wasn't working and you had to turn him face. I thought the obvious play was turn him face at SummerSlam, do like not a double turn match, but almost a like, all right, I'm not going to cheat to win this one. Cody beats him for the title, and you almost have a Hogan Rock WrestleMania 18 thing, where by the end of that match, it's like, all right, Hogan's a fucking baby face now, right? Like, just recreate that. And the match at SummerSlam I thought was incredible. But the fact that the night before SummerSlam, he came out on SmackDown in Newark and was like, by the way, sorry about all that. Can we put that behind us? Let's forget that. And he came out as a face the next night? What? That's not how that works. Just do it at SummerSlam. It's the next. It would have been a bigger story, I think, if he would have been like John Cena is a face again, shakes Cody's hand. That was a good moment. Again, great match. Everything since then I've enjoyed, and it's made me be like, I can't believe they ever turned him heel. Like, maybe Vince was right about that one thing, that he wasn't the right guy to be a heel. I don't know if it was the booking. I don't know if it was the fact that they just had everything be so repetitive in his heel run, where it was just every match he was winning with a title shot or a low blow, cutting the same promo week in, week out. I don't know, but it does make me wish maybe the whole retirement tour was like this last month or two.
I think it was because the fans wanted to cheer him. If we hadn't known when the final date was going to be, like if it was still December 2025 all along, and they turned him heel when they did, and then somewhere down the line he's like, yeah, like I'm retiring in December, and then I think it goes differently. But if you announce your retirement run ahead of time and then turn heel, fans are like, but wait, we want to cheer you. Like, this is, you know, this is how we want to say thank you for everything. And now we're supposed to boo you on the way out. Like, we don't want to do that. You're making us do something we don't want to do.
They're selling the merch in every city that like matches their team colors. Like, kids are wearing it. I saw someone say it's almost like if in Jeter's final season, they were like, we're going to pitch him. We're just going to have Jeter pitch. And everyone's like, all right. Like, we love him. So we're going to show up and we're going to support, but really? And then like in his last couple games, they were like, let's throw him at short. And he started hitting that fucking one hopper. And it's like, okay, this is why we like this guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that was part of what has turned me off recently is WWE, whomever responsible for that decision, being like, you know, we just did this monster mega heel turn. Like, people have been waiting for this for 2 decades. We did a whole Netflix special about the heel turn. And then one night we're just gonna be like, all right, just forget about all that. He's a good guy now. Like, it is so insulting.
Never referencing Travis Scott again, too. Travis Scott, we talked about on the last From the Top Rope, where we were like, what the fuck? Are we doing Travis Scott at WrestleMania? Like, he's part of Cena's 17th title win. Now he's got the Benoit treatment. They're not going to bring that up ever again.
No, and that turned me off so much. And the more that we talk out loud about it, the more I'm realizing that's what it is. They just said, you guys are dumb. You're not going to care if we just throw this out the window and pretend like it never happened and just move forward. Like, yeah, no, I am going to remember it. And I am mad that, you know, it wasn't planned in a way that gave us an entertaining story, or the only moment that came from it was the turn itself. And then how mad I was at how unsatisfying WrestleMania was. Just being like, really? Like, Travis Scott is the
weird choice.
He's the threat here, and like The Rock abandoning the storyline after being such a focal point of it, and now he's not even a part of it, and we haven't seen him since. Like, I'm mad at The Rock. I'm mad at the booking. I'm mad at all of it. And like, trust me, Bob, I'm not becoming the old curmudgeon wrestling fan. I'm mad because it's like, it's the baseball off season. I would love to sit down and watch Raw and SmackDown and the PLEs and get invested in all this shit. And I'm just like, you're not grabbing me with anything at all. Like, I'm a huge CM Punk fan. He's the world heavyweight champion. And like, it's not grabbing me. Roman makes a return every 2.5 weeks. Like, that's not enough to grab me. Like, there's no story that's grabbing me right now. But Oh, and the ESPN thing too, where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, by the way, we're not on Peacock. You have to like spend like they're all over the place right now. They're asking too much of their fans without like making sure the product is good enough to make that ask. Does that make
Oh yeah.
sense?
I mean, and the ticket prices, like I know we talked about this last time, but WrestleMania this year, it was expensive to go to. Real expensive if you wanted to go to WrestleMania. Then they announced, because they made so much money in Las Vegas, that they are pulling it from New Orleans, where they had The Rock come out and announce, we're bringing WrestleMania back to New Orleans. And they're putting it back to back in Las Vegas just so they could make more money, because this was the highest grossing WrestleMania ever. And the ticket prices have spiked. They're even higher than they were last year. They're so greedy. This TKO era, I hate to say, is like the greediest thing I've ever seen. The amount of ads on the mat. I know it's like, all right, we watch New Japan and they've got the same amount of ads on the mat or whatever, but it's like there's something weird about it when it's on the tables, and it's we Slim Jim tables. We got sponsored entrances. Everything just feels so like artificial right now. And like you said, it almost feels like they're insulting the fans in a very Vince-like way, that like Vince would do that, where he was like, just forget that happened. Like, we're going to pretend that never happened and we're going to move on past that. And it felt like Triple H, since he took over, really was trying to not insult the fans in the same way, was really trying to like make sure you paid attention to little things in the background. Things would actually have payoffs, and it wouldn't just go nowhere in the Vince way, or it wouldn't get dropped halfway through a feud. And now he's starting to lean back in. They got to overcorrect, though. I think he knows that fans are starting to get a little upset right now. I think he's putting on a good front on all the post PLE pressers and whatnot. And I think it's getting to him a little bit. The way everyone is like chanting for Edge and doing shit behind him after the Australia pay-per-view. And he was just like, yep, he was powering through, but you could see it on his face. I think he knows.
But people like that, it's like they'll get upset because they know that the feedback is correct. It's like, there's a difference between, Vince would be like, I know what you want more than you know what you want, and I'm going to give you what you want, but you don't even know that you want it. And with Triple H, I feel like he has pivoted when there has been pushback or feedback or whatever. Not always, because I think one of the finest examples of that, and I don't know, we're kind of seeing it as of last night, would be the Jey Uso stuff, where the internet's like, boo, but then he shows up in every arena and it's like, yeet, it's just the vocal minority on the internet downvoting content and saying like, we're over Jay. But then every arena he shows up in, the entire arena, they're yeeting and they're buying the merch.
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. Like I get Triple H's mindset of like, I can't just pivot and change things every time that the internet complains. Yeah. But I felt like Survivor Series, it was a little bit different. Like the fans that were there were booing the finale of the show. They were booing on the way out. Like that was
you never want that. Like, I get that the heels kind of like did the dastardly thing and won, and that the fans should be pissed off about that. You don't want people dissatisfied leaving your stadium show where they probably paid fucking $800 to sit in the upper deck with them and their kid. You know what I mean? It's like Jey Uso, that whole thing, I don't know, the downfall of Jey Uso also happened since our last show. We were already talking about people turning on him around WrestleMania 41, but his title run was not great. I'll say that. I was a big Jey Uso supporter. You did? Yeah. You did a video with him, or you went to a baseball game with him?
He was at Fenway to throw out the first pitch, and I just happened to be like on the field for batting practice when he was sitting there, and I just like went up to him, and like he had like a handler with him, and I was like, can I say hi? And they were like, yeah. I went up to him. I was like, hey man, what's up? I was like, I know you probably hear this all the time, but like, I am a big fan. I was like, I can actually prove it. I was like, I have a picture of you hanging in my gym, and I showed him. He's like, that shows. And then on opening day, we did a live show at a bar across the street from Fenway, and I did Roman's entrance with like, my producer Jake was Paul Heyman. He was holding up the title and he handed it to me. Like we did the whole like the original like head of the table entrance, and I showed him that video too, and he's like, "All those people there for you?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Damn." He's like, "You over as fuck." I was like, "Yeah." But he was cool. I mean, he was just like,
I mean, he seems awesome, and I love him. I defend him, but the title run just, unfortunately, it felt like they were like, forget about that too. It was like, we're gonna put it back on Gunther, and we're gonna hope for the best, or we're gonna put it on, we're gonna put it on Punk at one point, and then Rollins steals it from him.
Yeah, like right now, like, I love Punk, but we're in the phase of the fans like this guy. All right, we're putting the title on this guy. Like they're buying his merch,
getting hurt.
You're the champ.
Seth getting hurt threw everything in a blender.
Yeah, correct.
How have you felt about AJ coming back? Do you like the AJ return?
Oh yeah, I like the moment. The moment was cool. So we were having this discussion during War Games. Like there was only two of us, the three of us total, but two other people other than me, and we were just like AJ. Like when I think back on like nostalgic AJ, it's promos. It's not match. Like I don't have like a favorite AJ match.
Well, she didn't have a lot of dance partners back then,
right? Which I mean, that's no fault of her own. But like when I think about AJ's past or like what's a great nostalgic moment, it was kind of when she had like that pipe bomb promo when all the divas were standing in the ring and she cut this pipe bomb promo. But then I remember like obviously being a huge Punk fan, I was like, this sounds like a Punk impression almost. I was like, it's the same cadence, like she's, enunciating the same way as like Punk is, and then it comes out that they're dating and then they get married. I'm like, oh, okay, like she's, like she's watching the tape. Like that's great. Like if you're gonna watch someone, if you want to follow in the footsteps of someone who's great on the mic, that would be the guy that I would recommend. But yeah, I thought it was cool that she came back. I think Punk's obviously happier that she's around, which is great.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to ask her, she would have said, like, a part of me would have felt missing if I never came back. Like, that's just
probably. I mean, like, just the amount of people that she was in the ring with at War Games. The fact that she had never been in the ring with so many of those, like Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, and she's still got, Bianca Belair on the horizon, and there's so many Io Sky that it's like, yeah, we should probably see that eventually. Even Trish came back to face this era, where it was like, yeah, I got to get in the ring with some of these girls and see what they got. My little issue with the return is that we've seen these returns a lot. It feels like a storyline that we've seen over and over again, like in a movie. Like right now in movies, I'm tired of the storyline of like, I have to get the child to safety. The Mandalorian does it and The Last of Us does it. It's just a bunch of movies do that right now. With AJ's return, I feel like she's going through the pro wrestling storyline of I'm happy to be back. We saw Punk do it in AEW, and we saw Bryan Danielson do it, and we saw Edge do it, and we saw Punk do it in WWE, and now we've got AJ doing it. And I love heel AJ, kind of the one that you're talking about that cut that, like people call it AJ's pipe bomb, where she's going, and she's kind of a tweener there. She's cutting the promo on a lot of heels in that promo as well. But I like the AJ that's not smiling and so happy to be back. I like the one that's eviscerating people.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's stabbing you, she's prodding you, she's crazy. Right now, it feels more April Mendez than it does AJ Lee.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But they'll get there, I'm assuming.
100%. You have to get there. I mean, you should do her and Rhea at WrestleMania this year. Do some crazy shit like that, or throw her in one of those crazy triple threats like they've been doing. Still, that triple threat they did this year at WrestleMania is one of the best matches of the year. Rhea, Bianca, and Io. That was insane. I mean, AJ, I'm sure it'd be great.
Like, I mean, me being a huge Punk Bobo, when I think back on the AJ return, the standout moment for me is seeing how happy Punk is. Like, he's just like in borderline tears. But so like, that's what I remember. What do you remember about the AJ return?
The pop.
Of course, yeah, like sure, but like outside of that, what? Punk's reaction.
I guess Punk was happy. Yeah. Punk was real happy.
Yeah.
But it was like her throwing the fucking Black Widow on for the first time in 11 years. That
I
was
don't
sick.
remember that.
I
Don't even remember
I
who was in
believe
the
I
ring.
was at maybe her last match. I think her last match was the night after WrestleMania 31 on Raw. It was like a 6 or 8 man tag, woman tag. But yeah, I'm happy to see her back. I was happy to see her return at MSG and do the kind of felt like Stone Cold's music hitting to help Mankind win the title almost with Maxine and Becky Lynch.
They kind of gave it away though. Like we knew that she was coming back when she was coming.
Of course.
Back.
Yeah.
They like heavily teased it, which is also a bad sign. Like when you're riding high with the product, like when like if the product is great and you know everyone's gonna be watching anyway, then you can just bring back someone like AJ without teasing it and letting them know that it's coming. But like I think they teased it because like tune in, you don't want to miss the return of AJ.
They did that with Punk too, though. You know what I mean?
No, everyone was
in AEW and WWE. No, I agree. But if you look back, like The Miz was cutting promos, calling himself best in the world and shit, like the week before he came back. He was like best in the world.
You're telling me that you weren't surprised when his music hit?
I was shocked, but it was just different circumstances where it's like if they were making AJ Lee references before Punk came back to WWE and then she showed up without him, I would have been just as shocked. But the circumstances changed when he came back. It was like, all right, the door is now open for AJ. But I mean, they literally booked a show in Chicago called The Last Dance for CM Punk's return for AEW.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that, you know, there was no real shock about Punk and AEW, but like I was pretty
like I feel like once Punk returned to WWE, the shock factor with AJ was gone. The second he came back at Survivor Series a few years ago, everyone was just like, oh, like how long till she comes back? Not will she ever come back?
I wouldn't put it at 100%. Just when Punk came back, I wouldn't be like, it's 100% that.
No, I was putting it at 90. I was like, okay, it felt like that was like she got that taken away from her in a way that Punk even didn't. Like Punk walked away on his own volition. Like AJ, it felt like was just in this weird between a rock and a hard place spot where she's like, my boss is suing my husband. Like, I don't think I could do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then literally everything she like worked her whole career for happened like the next year. And it was almost like, oh shit, she missed out.
Ton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like stuff that I don't think you could do while you were also on a full-time wrestling contract.
Yeah. Other things that I wanted to talk about Cena-wise, going back to Cena. How do we feel about the Last Time Is Now tournament? How do we feel about the rumored Gunther being the final opponent?
Hate it. I hate it.
I don't love it either. I love Gunther, and I like that was a match that I was like, oh, I want to see that match on the final run for sure. Just I want someone he's got history with as the final match.
Correct. Like Miz was in this tournament. Like, why not give that spot to him?
Miz as the final match doesn't do a ton for me to be completely
No, but it's something.
Another guy I would like to see against him, but yeah.
Because I think the way that it's structured right now, Cena put over Dom in his second to last match. So that gives me the green light. He can win the last one.
I agree. And people want to see him win the last one. Think about that Saturday night's main event crowd. How many of them are going to be wearing the Cena merch? The pop he's going to get for his music. The way they're all going to rap his entrance. They do not want to see him go out on his back. They want one more attitude adjustment. 1, 2, 3, and the place explodes. Confetti comes down, and he's on the turnbuckle. I think AEW did such a good job with Sting's final match where they were like, yeah, have him win. Have him fucking win with a Scorpio death drop and a death lock. Like, that's what people want to see. And I know it's the traditionalist thing for wrestlers to go out on their back. It's different circumstances here. Like you said, he put Dom over. He put the next generation over already. Already being in Cena's final match is putting Gunther over enough. You don't need to have him win. And I have a feeling they want Gunther to win. Like in my mind, I'm like, do they want Gunther to win this and then fucking win the Rumble or something? But now the WrestleMania rumors are that they're going to run back Cody and Roman for the WWE title. And they're going to do Punk versus Breaker for the World Heavyweight title.
Well, they're doing that
for me to
in
be honest.
January.
They are. And the rumors that that's stretching to WrestleMania, that doesn't do a ton for me. And I like Breaker. I'm a Breaker defender. We've debated it on the podcast.
I like
We've
Breaker.
gone kind of back and forth on him.
No,
you were out on him.
My only criticism is that they should call him like Steiner. Like I don't like to let him call him Steiner.
But
I don't think he's ready.
On him at one point.
I'm not out. I'm not out. I don't think he's ready for a strap.
No, I would agree with that. But maybe by WrestleMania he could be. I don't know. I'm just thinking like, what do you do with Gunther in that situation? What do you do with Sami Zayn? The Rumbles in Saudi Arabia this year. As soon as they announced that, a lot of people were like, "Oh shit, have Sami Zayn go over there. He's the most over guy in Saudi. Have him win that Rumble, Sami versus Punk for the title. That does a lot more for me at WrestleMania than like a Punk versus Breaker."
I don't know. I hate the tournament. I think, like, I understand why I think they thought they had to do it this way, but why not save Orton for the last one?
Or Punk. But I think Saudi fucking like bought the rights to have the final Cena versus Punk match. Because I think in Saudi, like at the post PLE thing, Triple H had a weird comment where they were chanting like one more time. He was like, no, I promise you the last time was right here in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He was just like, what's going on there? I think Punk even had a quote where he was like, yeah, I think his perfect final opponent would be me. And I'm sure he genuinely feels that way, where it puts Gunther in a tough spot too, where like Gunther's backstage and I'm sure Triple H is like, you deserve this. But you got to have a little bit of imposter syndrome of like a lot of people are like, we like this matchup, but it's not Cena's final match caliber. And I'm sure it'll be great. Like Cena's going to pull out all the stops, one more match. He's been telling people behind the scenes, like, truly, this is it. You will not see me have another match. I believe him, if I'm being honest. I think he's got a big enough career outside of WWE where he's not lying about that. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, I wish Kevin Owens didn't get hurt. I feel like Kevin Owens would be a fucking great final opponent for him. They have the history, and it is kind of like, it felt like he was one of the first of the new generation that Cena put over in his debut. Had him fucking
the U.S. title,
hit him with the pop-up power bomb. Yep. And then he stomped the U.S. title. Then he beat him clean. The next pay-per-view was like, holy shit. Like that would have been a cool full circle thing to me. And I know I've got Kevin Owens bias, but that would have been cool.
You're right.
Would have been cool. Obviously CM Punk would have been cool. There was better options out there for sure.
There was no way that they could have like done something with Edge. Like he's not.
I don't think so. Tony Khan was like nice when he addressed that. They wrote him off so he could go. He's in Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Disney Plus, so he's got to go film the next season of that. It's like a young adult, like Hunger Games style, like that kind of fantasy series. I think I never got into it, but more like Harry Potter, I would say. Tony Khan was just like, never say never. If they wanted to extend Cena's dates past the year, like you never know what could happen in wrestling. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, no fucking way would you allow Edge to go over and have a match with Cena. That does nothing for AEW. Unless they were like, we'll give you $50 million. Yeah. Like, there's no fucking way he would have allowed that. It would have been great, though. I would have loved to see that. At the same time, I don't know how like close they were. Obviously, amazing rivals. I don't know how close they were behind the scenes. I thought it was strange that when Edge came back when he did, Cena was active, and we never got to see them interact once. Like Cena was active for the last couple of years of Edge and WWE, and they never even had him face off in a Rumble or anything like that. Which I was kind of like, are they close? Are they like, I don't know. I feel like if they were friends, they would have been like, let's run it back one more time. Let's fucking do it. But Cena's weird too. Cena, like Triple H keeps saying like whatever Cena wants, and Cena keeps being like, I haven't made one request the entire retirement tour. I've never made a request. He's like, this is all on Triple H. Like Cena's trying to make it very clear. He's like, they deal the cards, I play them.
I don't know. I'm not pumped about Gunther being the last Cena match. And I'm not a Cena guy. Like I'm openly not a Cena guy.
Cena guy, yeah.
It's not that I don't like him. I just was gone.
You didn't grow up with him as your guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was gone for his entire peak. And by the time I came back, he was basically on his back end of his full-time run. I was at WrestleMania 29 when he had the match with The Rock, which was cool. But yeah, I mean, like the first Cena feud that I ever saw was with Kane.
Yeah, that was a bad one too. Rise Above Hate. Yeah, that was
Embrace the hate.
tough.
Embrace the hate.
So tough. Yeah.
It was a great feud. That was a great feud.
No. I remember they had a last man standing match, I think, where they like went backstage and shit. Yeah, that was a rough one.
It was one of the best.
You got to see some good Cena feuds though. Cena versus Daniel Bryan is an all-timer for me. That SummerSlam match. Oh, incredible. Yeah. Even the Cena versus Orton feud that led up to that everyone was rolling their eyes at because they were like, this is the 1000th time we've seen it. You watch those matches back and it's like, well, it's clear that they've wrestled each other 1,000 times because they're really fucking good at wrestling each other and the chemistry. They had a Hell in a Cell match that everyone was like, we don't care about this at all. And then they busted out each other's finishers and they were doing crazy shit and everyone was into it. He has so many good feuds out there, man. So many good ones. I like the Bray feud. A lot of people shit on the Bray feud. Cena Rollins, SummerSlam before Jon Stewart came out.
Dude, the Bray feud was great.
I loved it. People didn't like that. I was there when they put the fucking goat mask on him when he was in the ropes and the lights came back on. He had the mask over his face. Oh,
dude, that was one of my favorite Bray Wyatt feuds.
I was there when he tried to escape the steel cage. A little kid was singing to him. That was stupid. That was really stupid.
That was great. Yeah.
And that was Daniel Bryan versus Kane main event. Put Kane through a flaming table. That was a great pay-per-view. That was WLC. That was the first evolution for Shield. It was such a good pay-per-view. Extreme Rules 2014, I want to say. First one after WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like I've seen plenty of Cena's career live.
You saw a lot of it, yeah.
I saw a lot of it. I went back and honestly enjoyed. Yeah, like Money in the Bank 2011, probably my favorite match of all time. Not because of him, but Money in the Bank
of it.
I guess. I mean, he has to play a large role in being hated in Chicago because of CM Punk, but yeah, I don't know. Never was a Cena guy. I'm not a Cena hater. I'm just not like I'm not gonna like shed a tear when he retires.
Oh, I might.
You probably will.
See. Thank you, Cena. There's chants echoing throughout. Yeah.
Like Kane never had a retirement match.
No.
He just faded away.
Fizzled out, became a politician.
Yeah.
Became Corporate Kane, really.
Yeah, he did. Like so that would have been the moment for me. But like you can't have that.
That was so weird. I saw Kane in the office since our last podcast. I literally it was like walking down the hallway and I see like Frank the Tank and I'm like, what's up, Frank? He's like, yep, hey. I see Jenks. I'm like, what's up, Jenks? He's like, oh, Glenn, right? And I look up and Kane's fucking 7 feet tall. Like, what the fuck is Kane doing here? He's doing a walk with Frank. And then the two of them just sat in the gambling cave alone for an hour and a half, just chopping it up.
Kane and Frank?
Yeah.
Talking about what?
I don't know. Because it was like, I don't want to infringe this. They're clearly, this is like a friendship they've got. They've met a couple times. He's done a walk with them. Yeah. I don't know what they were talking, but I would walk past the gambling cave every now and then. I'd be like, fucking Kane is still here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Check out. I'm sure it's out. Check out the walk. Frank the Tank with
the walk.
Yeah. Telling all the viewers. Check it out if you have,
the viewers as well. Well, it's also you and I catching up. Sometimes I forget that people are watching and listening. Punk was in the office in Chicago, right? Recently.
He was. Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff. He did the Yak. He did mostly sports. They had the funny clip of he was the first one to react to the Jared from Subway bit that they do.
I saw that.
With every guest, they go through the slate and they just throw Jared from Subway on there. Him hitting it, get the fuck out of here. It was so
yeah.
That was really good. And Unreal did drop since our last podcast. I interviewed Punk and Rhea since our last podcast. He talked about not being a big fan of Unreal, and that's not surprising if you know Punk and the way he treats kayfabe, and he's a Harley Race old school wrestling guy, Ace Steel and all that. Did you like Unreal? Because I really did, and I felt like it got a lot of people. Like Clem is like all the way back in on wrestling, not necessarily the new stuff, but Clem is watching Broken Skull Sessions every week and the Undertaker's podcast because Unreal got him so back into it.
I thought Unreal was great. But yeah, they ruined the Undertaker's podcast too. It's like,
well, I think the Undertaker might have made that call.
I don't know. From like I watch like Maven's YouTube videos sometimes, and the way that he was describing it, it sounded like WWE came in and they were just like, yeah, like we're going in a different direction, or we're like Fanatics is like buying it or some shit. I don't know. Regardless, Unreal was cool. I think the wow moment for me, or the moment that sticks out, is the planning of Elimination Chamber was very
cool.
Yeah,
that was super cool. Cena was so robotic during that conversation too. Like I actually asked a few people after I watched Unreal, I was like, is Cena really that robotic, or is he like he knows the Unreal cameras are on, so he's in Cena mode? And they were like, no, cameras off, even with a couple drinks in him, he's just robotic. That's John Cena.
That's why I don't like that. That's how he was when I met him. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. I love the Cody and Kevin talking after their crazy match at the Rumble, just being like, oh, did you see that fucking spot? My body went fucking flying. Like, I like seeing the conversations of them breaking down like the match right after. They're still, got dried blood on them. They're like, oh, you good? Like, you call a family? All right, see you later. I love that stuff. I thought the Jey Uso stuff for the most part was pretty shockingly honest about him blowing up before WrestleMania and then being like, listen, we're about to strap a rocket to your ass. We don't know if you're the guy. It's an unfortunate quote now in hindsight that Triple H goes up to Cena and he's like, I hope we don't mess this up. Cena's like, well, we're writing the last page to a 500-page book. We'd have to try really bad to mess this up. And everyone's like, you messed it up.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. But there's so much that came from it that I really liked, that I hope they're doing another season. I bet they are, because I think the first season did so well.
I think if
now
you go on
will
Netflix
be honest.
Right now, it says new episodes coming soon.
Okay.
Or in 2026.
I'll be honest, Jared. I think they're doing some things wrong for the sake of Unreal drama. And I could be wrong about this one. Could eat my words here. There was a Raw a couple months ago. I think it was in Michigan. I think my brother was there, where Jey Uso's music hit. And they have the camera on where he always comes out. And then he came out from the side where the hard camera actually is. He came out from the wrong side. And Michael Cole was like, ha! Jey Uso came out from the wrong side. So wacky. And Jey Uso was making like I forgot which side I went to. And in the back of my mind, I was like, are you kidding me? Is this for Unreal? Are they doing a panic? Jey Uso was at the wrong side. Cut the gorilla. Triple H is like, what the hell happened there? And I'm starting to have a feeling that we're seeing little botches and little production mistakes that aren't necessarily mistakes. I don't know. The Brock thing seemed genuine, but it's a weird, like, how do you slip like that? I don't know. There's all these little things where I'm like, now in the back of my mind, I'm like, is the shoe to work? I might be working myself into a shoot, but I don't know.
I don't think you're
eye out for things like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, what Total Divas was supposed to be a reality show, but it was completely scripted.
It was more scripted than like Raw or SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I watched it with my sister. It was great. It was just an extension of WWE, really.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I think keep your eye out for stuff like that. I don't know. Like, if you start watching through that lens, I feel like you'll start pointing out things where you're like, was that really messed up on purpose, or do they want a shot of like Abyss in the back being like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Abyss.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we got. I mean, WrestleMania is in Saudi next year. That sucks. Not looking forward to that. I won't be there, obviously. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Afternoon for sure. It's like people aren't going to go to Saudi and take over the city like they do in New Orleans, in Vegas.
No.
Anywhere. I like the fact that they gave it to them before a London or a Toronto, where like the mayors have been like trying to get meetings with the WWE for decades to try to bring wrestling, and the fans there have been rabid for so long. I will give the Saudi crowds credit. Like, they definitely have gotten better, but it's just like WrestleMania is my favorite day of the year. It's like Christmas to me. This like makes me not look forward to Christmas.
I agree. Yeah. And it's, I don't know. I don't think it's not going to go the other way. Like, we're not going to get less Saudi shows like that. It's going to be more like, to the point where like a Saudi prince might be like, you know what? WrestleMania is officially in Saudi forever.
Every year.
Yeah, $20 billion for the rights to WrestleMania for the
Bro,
next.
they made there
10
was
years.
like the infographic. They made more. They've made more already on just the Saudi shows they've done in the last couple of years than they've made on every WrestleMania combined. They get $50 million for every Saudi show that's not WrestleMania. I'm sure it's probably 5x that for WrestleMania, because the rumor, which I did think was funny, was that WWE tried to like slip a fake WrestleMania under the carpet on. They were like, we want WrestleMania. And I think WWE was basically going to be like, here's WrestleMania presents Crown Jewel. And then you're like, no, we want like real WrestleMania, which immediately made me think back to the Greatest Royal Rumble when they did that. And I was like, oh shit, they slipped a fake Royal Rumble under the carpet there. They were literally like, we want the Royal Rumble. We want the Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna. And they were like, here's the Greatest Royal Rumble with a sumo wrestler we found on Craigslist, and also Vikar from the Viking Raiders with his face painted. Like, they were very much slipping things in. Like, they're being like, can we get away with this? And they did with that one. They got caught with WrestleMania. They said, we want the real thing. Now, the rumors that John Cena is going into the Hall of Fame next year, which would make sense, like in Vegas. I wouldn't be shocked if once that rumor gets out there, Saudi says, no, we want John Cena to headline our Hall of Fame class.
Sure, whatever. Like, sounds good to me. Is The Rock not in the Hall of Fame? He's not, right? He's
not. I think he's stringing them along. I think he keeps telling them, like, let's wait for a year where, like, I'll be ready to do it. It's like, it's been like 20 years. We could have done this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Rock's not, and Batista's in a weird spot too, because Batista was supposed to go in COVID year and then like couldn't do it the next year when they were putting COVID year people in. So Batista, I think, is technically a Hall of Famer who never got to make an induction speech. So I think like that might still happen one day, which it should. He should get a fucking speech. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't blame any of the guys that are like, yeah, sure, like I'll save it for Saudi. Like, they're making, like, how much do you think the roll off is for Cena if Saudi Arabia wants John Cena's retirement speech? Like, obviously, like the WWE is going to pocket some of that, but like John Cena.
So if WWE's getting $50 million for a show, he's obviously not getting anywhere near that himself. But he's definitely getting millions. The rumor was that like they wanted to give Dave and Big Cat like a couple million to go to a boxing fight there. And they were like, no, they're probably giving Cena 10 mil. Is that crazy? I think they were going to give like Dave and Dan that to go to a boxing match.
Why didn't they go?
It was like a crazy 36 hours of travel to sit at a boxing match. I think it was like a weird time, and it was also like
for $2 million.
Both rich.
Yeah,
I don't know if I definitely don't have the numbers right, but he talked about it recently where they were like, yeah, and then I think someone from Saudi was like, that's not how it went down, and they were like, all right, we'll stop talking about
it. My bad.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I had on the docket. Royal Rumble predictions. Do you have a prediction right now for men's, women's Rumble?
Yeah, I think Roman wins.
And then
and then I don't know, like if Roman wins,
Braun cheats to win Elimination Chamber or something.
Yeah, I mean, like and
we didn't even address like the hooded guy's Austin Theory.
Yes, that's why.
Which that's part of the thing. That's like, no offense to Austin Theory, it's like, all right.
That's also anticlimactic. Yeah. Met him at Fenway as well.
Super nice guy. I met him at WrestleMania. Nice. I really, really liked him. It's just, I'm sorry. It's just like I'm sure something could come. He's so young still. He's so talented. Something could come of him. Right now, it hasn't. He's still like viewed as like the Vince guy.
So I'll ask you this, Bob. Who like here's why I'm so down on the product. Who could be under that mask that would excite you? Because the answer for me is like nobody. There's no one where I'm like, oh, I wish it was this person. Like, I don't care about the vision.
I know based on your reaction to this person before, you're not a huge fan, but the initial thought was like Sami Zayn. And I was like, that's kind of interesting if it's fucking Sammy.
I like Sammy. I like Sammy.
When I suggested him winning the Rumble before, you didn't seem thrilled about that.
that's different.
But like initially, people were immediately like Austin Theory, Sami Zayn, this person, that, and Sammy stuck out as like, oh, I don't think that was Sammy, but it would be interesting if it was. It'd be completely different direction for him, and kind of taking over as the leader of a faction would be cool to me, and having him aligned with Heyman. But I don't think it's that direction.
That's far more interesting to me than the Austin Theory.
Like Sammy cuts a great promo. We've seen Theory promos. He cuts a okay promo. He cuts a good heel promo where he gets a lot of cheap heat and stuff. But Sammy's like just awesome. Sammy does no wrong in my mind.
It's also great storytelling. Like it's like a full circle thing. Like if Sammy's back with Paul Heyman, and like it's like now
him and Punk have history too. And
yeah,
like going back to Ring of Honor, it was like the Sammy and Kevin Owens got yelled at by Punk or whatever. It's like that could work.
Wrestling in a t-shirt, can't do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, Jared. Thanks for doing this. We'll do what we have to do on after the Rumble for sure.
Yeah. I think we should. Where is the Rumble this year?
Saudi. That's what we were talking about.
Oh, should we stream it?
So we're not going,
No, we're definitely not going.
We kept making this promise. We're like, we're going to go to the Rumble wherever it is. And then they're like, Saudi. We're like, all right, never mind.
Yeah. Well, I thought we were talking about WrestleMania. Yeah. Fucking the Rumble. Yeah. I think it makes the most sense for Roman to win because then he can just challenge Cody. That's what they want. Like, I don't know that
maybe you do the same visual when Cody won and was yelling to Roman like across the arena. Maybe you have Cody in a fucking suite and you have Roman yelling to him. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I hope Roman.
And it's the rubber match. You could like that's one of those things where it's a rematch, but the first two were both like they were two of the best matches of the last 10 years. So
yeah, I'm not over it. I'm not. Yeah, people will complain that it's another one, but I could definitely get up for it.
I think people just complain that Roman's in another main event. People are starting to point out that like there's like 12-year-old kids that have never seen anything but a Roman Reigns main event at WrestleMania.
Fuck them kids. You know what I'm saying? They're used to it.
All right. That's from the top rope. We'll talk to you after the Rumble.
Bye.